Hello and welcome to episode 121 of the Perth to Paisley podcast, a podcast dedicated to heart of Midlothian Football Club. Joining me, Adam Kennedy, to discuss the Jambos getting back to winning ways thanks to a 3-0 victory over St Johnstone at Tynecastle is Daniel McIver. What's happening, mate? How are you?
Not bad. I'm going to preface this now for listeners. It's been a weekend of a wrestling pay-per-view. It's all I've been thinking about. I kind of forgot what the score was, and I've not thought at all about this upcoming doubleheader against Celtic. So I have no idea what the quality of this episode is going to be. But as a result, I'm doing very well. How are you?
that's exactly the type of encouragement that I needed at the start of the episode. I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm pleased to see us get back to winning ways, as I've alluded to. However, there is that small notion of, as you've alluded to, Celtic twice in 1 week, which just can never possibly ever bode well.
No.
Particularly when one of them's at Parkhead and the other is in the Scottish Cup. But yeah, we'll give it our best and we'll see what happens. This is not nice.
Mate,
really not
think
nice.
about me next week. I've got a host covering both the games.
Oh, Jesus, I know. I don't envy you. I should say that I'm going to let the listeners know, because obviously I've let you know off air, but thankfully I'm missing the game. Well, is it thankfully? It's thankfully. It's thankfully right now that I'm missing the game on Saturday, because Cammy Anderson, who we've had on here, our Dunfermline correspondent, if you will, who's appeared on this podcast, is actually getting married. So it's his stag do in Berlin this weekend. I'm off to watch another capital club. I'm off to watch Hertha versus Mainz at the Olympiastadion on Saturday. Can't wait.
Shocking.
That will probably come off the back of an absolute drubbing at the hands of Celtic at Tynecastle. So really, I might just be sitting there with a big bratwurst, all depressed, and hope that the beer just drowns my sorrows as I'm watching Hertha get absolutely torn to shreds by Mainz. So it'll be a good laugh. I was literally in Auchinleck on Saturday, and I'm going to the Olympiastadion the following week. I love football.
Similar venues, very similar venues,
similar facilities as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of a league with cracking facilities,
this is the quality we're in for this week, guys. Come on.
Resources are plenty. It's Scotland's top tier. There's a full fixture card in the Cinch at the weekend.
That's the worst link we've ever done.
Comfortably.
That's my favourite one, though. That's my favourite one ever.
I said to McIver, I don't have the energy for this today. I can't be bothered with this episode. It's nice to see us win, but really, I don't care in the grand scheme of things, because I know what's coming up this week. So, great.
Positivity. Facilities. Come on.
Resources. Money.
Yes, exactly.
Elsewhere in the Cinch, here's another positive for you. Hibernian annoyingly won really well at Livingston by 4-1, but again, it's against 10 men. So does it really count, Hibs fans? You let us know. With a barrel load of abuse. Rangers beat Kilmarnock 3-1 at Ibrox. They raced into a 3-0 lead before half-time and let Kelly win the second half 1-0, so that was really nice of them. A great one for Motherwell, who have transformed. I mean, Kettleball is in full flow after Hamilball came to an end with a 2-0 victory up in Dingwall against Ross County, a relegation rival. And speaking of sides at the bottom, Jim Goodwin's dugout debut in Dundee, I can't even believe I've just said that sentence, ended in a 3-1 defeat against his former club, Aberdeen, at Tannadice on Saturday night. Before St Mirren took the lead against Celtic on Sunday, but went down to 10 men with Charles Dunn getting sent off, and were then subsequently battered as they conceded 5 second-half goals, which has me very worried ahead of both Wednesday and Saturday to the league leaders. What did you make of the other 5 matches in the Cinch, McIver?
Celtic and Rangers won comfortably. Absolutely shocked.
In other news, water's wet.
Yeah.
Sorry, before we get into this, do you think this is the biggest gulf you've ever seen in terms of the Old Firm?
Yeah, I saw Anthony Brown.
We can't really remember the early 90s when Celtic reached Seville and, you know, that great Martin O'Neill team, and Rangers under Dick Advocaat.
Yeah, like the first memories I really have of Celtic are like the mid-2000s. That's when I started to pay attention to them. So, and even then, it's just kind of wee things. The main Celtic player I remember from when I was wee is Samaras.
Mine's Aidan McGeady, without a doubt.
Oh no, see, I think it's
Samaras. Despising him.
I think it's Samaras and Brown, obviously.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, I do think the gulf is the biggest that I'm aware of in our lifetime. Again, really bodes well for this week ahead.
Oh, can't wait.
Hibs was it looked like a weird game. The sending off obviously definitely impacted it, considering it was just 2-1 at the time and Livingston were definitely in it. The goals scored by both sides were kind of weird. Like, you would imagine they wouldn't go in on other days. Yeah, it is just funny that Hibs just keep beating 10 men. Like, it is just funny that's a stat. But they're doing very well just now. Very clearly our main competitor for third. So the next derby is going to be a laugh.
I tell you what, it's certainly not as bad as it was. I mean, what are they? I think they've gone 7 league games unbeaten now. Yeah, they've got the likes of the big Ukrainian fella back, Nisbet back. Yuan looks good. Yeah, I like the big American up front. They're actually looking semi-competent despite having less players than when Lee Johnston arrived.
Yeah, no,
which is weird.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. The biggest takeaway for me for the weekend was the Motherwell Ross County game, because again, I obviously only watch sports scene and how much can you tell, but I have no idea how Motherwell, never mind won that game. I don't understand how they got anything from that game, because it was all Ross County barring the 2 Motherwell highlights. But yeah, Stuart Kelwell is just absolutely smashing it. Just won Manager of the Month, which means he'll never win another game again. Yeah. Like, that's it. The curse
that curse is done. I think Ross County were just able to reap the rewards from a woeful Dundee United last week. And yet they're up against a Motherwell team that actually are shutting out teams, which United obviously can't do.
Yeah, it's weird. And on Dundee United, I said on Twitter, on the night actually, because obviously they had the later kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. I gave it a watch. United were actually quite good first half.
For the first kind of 50 minutes, they were actually no bad. I think they're in a competition with themselves to concede the most ridiculous goal every single week. Because I don't know what Ryan Edwards is doing. Like, he can send it out for a corner, send it up the park, send it out for a throw-in. You've got an option in Charlie Mulgrew there. What he decides to do is allow the ball to bounce a couple of times and allow one of the fastest players in the league in Duke get time to get in, nick it off him, and then listen, it's an amazing finish that isn't
back heel.
That's a class finish that isn't spoken up enough, I don't think, on commentary.
Definitely not.
It's a great finish, but listen, everybody knows I like Jim Goodwin. I like Jim Goodwin more than most people, right? Is it mainly to do with how attractive he is? Yes. But I think you saw in that first 50 minutes, there are positives to take. It might... If this is the new manager bounce, that's a worry, considering they got battered. But I genuinely just think that's them down. I don't see any way back for them.
They're away to Livingston, funnily enough, the night that this episode's released, just as we obviously go to Parkhead and Hibs host Rangers. They're 4 points behind with that game in hand that's played away to Livy. I don't know. Livy are in dire straits.
Yeah,
I do think they will win because they've been uncharacteristically put at home for a while. But if United win that, then they're in with a shout, surely.
Definitely, because what? Are Ross County and Killie on tie points?
Yeah, I think they're both on 24. And United are on 20.
Listen, obviously, it's going to be one of those 3. It's doable for any of them to stay up. It's also the other question of, would they win in the playoffs? Whoever finishes 11th.
He'd take a playoff if you offered it right now.
100%.
Of course he would. Yeah. But again, it's like you say, it'd be brilliant if it was a Dundee derby in like the playoff final or something. That would be class.
That would be amazing.
Because I'm just looking at like the rest of the championship. I mean, Ayr
have fallen off massively.
Their crash and burn is just remarkable. Queen's Park will probably win it.
Yeah.
You've then got the likes of Morton in the playoffs.
I want Morton to come up so badly.
So would I if I had to choose anybody.
Because I've still never been to Capello, and that's the only reason I want to go.
And Dundee be boring. Like Queen's Park and Morton would be so refreshing for Scotland.
I think they would
for the Scottish Premiership, I should say.
I think they would be two of the worst teams the Premiership has ever seen, but it would be funny.
It'd be great viewing.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares?
But thankfully, Hearts aren't one of the worst teams that the Scottish Premiership has ever seen. See, that's a
much better segue.
I just realised I've had an absolute shocker because I thought I think I called Lee Johnson Lee Johnston. It's a major blip,
I don't think
guys.
he did.
I'm tired.
I think he said Lee Johnson. I think he said Lee Johnson. I think we're fine.
I'm just worried how that'll come out.
No,
I thought there was a little noise in the background, but
we're all good.
Moving on. Speaking of our gaffer, Robbie Nielsen, he made 3 changes to the Hearts team that lost away to Motherwell in the Scottish Premiership 2-0. Kai Rolls came back into the Jambos' defence as he replaced Toby Civic, who dropped onto the bench to accompany James Hill and Stephen Kingsley in the back 3. George Grant replaced Cammy Devlin to partner Robert Snodgrass in midfield. And Stephen Humphreys was omitted from the matchday squad entirely for Josh Ginnelly, who had served his suspension, to come back into the fold. Hearts therefore lined up as follows. It was Xander Clark in goal. Back 3, like I say, of James Hill, Kai Rolls and Stephen Kingsley. Michael Smith right wing back. Alex Cochrane left wing back, with Robert Snodgrass and George Grant in the middle. And Barry Mackay, Lawrence Shankland and Josh Ginnelly in attack. What did you make of that selection, McIver?
I was delighted to get it right up Richard Cobb after last week. He said there was no point in talking about George Grant starting. And then lo and behold, George Grant starts. So, yes. I was simultaneously delighted to see Kai Rolls back and terrified to see Toby Civic drop out.
That's what I was going to say. Are you surprised it was at Civic's expense?
Apparently, it's because of a knock that didn't settle.
Right.
So
are you buying that?
Yes, purely because he also didn't do a lot of the warm-up.
Okay.
He was mainly stretching out his calf.
Well,
so
that seems legit, because for me, if any of that back 3 are to get dropped, you know what? In saying that, it probably would be Kingsley, even though I love him to bits.
It is Kingsley.
But then I think I don't know.
If it's Kingsley plays really well.
Yeah, exactly. It would be James Hill, and then you'd have Civic over on the right, Kingsley on the left, and Big Rolls in the middle. But
this season, I'd have a back 3 of Civic Rolls.
Hill, Civic, and Rolls.
I like Hibbick being the tag team name. I like that being the thing.
Please don't. Oh, can't be arsed.
But yes, I was delighted with that. And then the main point that everybody focused on was Gino's back in the squad. And I said to my brother, literally before kickoff, I was like, it's a Tayside team. I bet you Gino does well the day. Yeah. I bet he does well. I didn't expect him to do as well. And it is now just a meme. What did the area of Tayside do to Josh Ginnelly and his family? Because it's not a coincidence anymore. He turns into Messi against anyone from the area.
Do you know, he does love a Tayside team goal. But as does George Grant now, because that's his second. True. And his first came against Dundee United. So Dundee and now Perth. Don't know. Maybe he's hoping that Dundee come up, like we've alluded to. He's adamant that Gary Boyer's team are going to come up through the playoffs.
Did like Dundee as a city? I'm the history guy here. Did Dundee as a city and Tayside generally do something to England? And it's all the English.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Cochrane scored against Dundee United last season as well. There's something have happened here.
I don't know. It's either that or the gaffer just hates former clubs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm on board with it regardless. But yeah, I was chuffed with the team selection. Worried about Civic, but hopefully he's fine.
Worried about Humphreys as well, no?
No, he's just ill.
Okay, nice.
He won't be playing against
game, so
he won't be playing against Celtic either. Neither is Kingsley.
But both games. Oh Christ! I should have done my research. I thought that Kingsley was, so that's great.
Kingsley might be back for Saturday.
Oh, Nice. The one that I've not written a preview for. So
see, you're fine. Good. You're fine.
Yeah, great. No, I'm not, because I'm adamant that he's starting on Wednesday night. And he, of course, won't be. So
no, he's definitely not. Maybe
I need to get back to Tynecastle and actually start paying more attention. That would be a good start. I've got to be honest, team. Again, we're going to get personal before we get into the game. My head's been up my arse. I've got an assignment due the Thursday. I'm going to have an absolute whale of a time this weekend. So life is pretty pish at the minute, but we're getting there. We're going to bash on. We're ploughing on. And we're going to get out the other side. I really need this weekend. I
support it.
Even despite the inevitable shagging off of Celtic.
That doesn't matter. You're no there. It's fine.
Oh God! I hope the Gorgie Ultras are great in the Gorgie. That would make my weekend, regardless of the score. But as Saturday goes,
it was really good.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a slow start, as Hearts so often start slowly.
I didn't think it was.
Well, if we get into the early chances, 8 minutes, Xander Clark has to be equal to a Stevie May drive. A slack pass out is nearly punished by his former teammate. As much as it's poor, it looked as though St Johnstone's press was really good. Very, very prevalent early on. But up the other end, Remy Matthews saves a thundering Michael Smith volley. It's a lovely little build-up from Hearts. Oh, no, you didn't. Which sees the three S's combined. Snodgrass and Shanklin link up, with the latter finding the fullback. But it's a decent stop for the Saints shot stopper. And presumably, Mr. McIver, it prevented money entering your accounts.
Yeah, it did. Would have been £50 richer.
What was it, 24s? £2 on?
Yeah, 24s.
With 365?
Yes. No, Sky Bet.
Well, Sky Bet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gutted. Because it was such a good move as well. It was like
it was a great move. It was a great move, and it's a decent strike, but it's just a good stop by the Saints goalie. But just 5 minutes later, on 21 minutes, we would make the breakthrough. Patient build-up, passing aplenty. Mackay, Snodgrass, Hill, Grant, Smith again, Shanklin, all involved. Eventually it comes to Josh Ginnelly, who assesses his options, cuts inside, sends a low-footed drive beyond Remy Matthews, courtesy of a deflection, but into the bottom left-hand corner. We missed him at Fir Park, McIver, and he's making his presence felt here.
He needs a new deal. He needs a new deal so badly.
Is that the number one priority in the squad in terms of how it currently shapes up? Like, is that a bigger priority than, say, the right wing-back position or another creative midfielder?
In terms of a signing?
Yeah, like, how would you rank it?
Interesting. I didn't think that's the angle you were going to take on it. I thought you were going to ask
Thanks very much, mate.
Existing contract negotiations with other players.
Oh, in terms of existing, he's by far and away top of the list. I mean, in terms of the squad generally in the summer.
I would say purely because it's someone like we're going to get.
We've not had that and we've not had that consistency from anybody else really in the wide area.
It's his best season in terms of numbers. I was saying this actually after the game. I can't remember. I was about to say I can't remember the last time a wide player got these numbers. I know that there's a massive asterisk beside that because he is playing centrally. He is almost like a striker. But I can't think of the last time like a wide player, a winger, got these numbers. And I'm like, I guess it was Jamie Walker. But again, Walker, it was when he played
drifted
centrally.
Inside. Yeah.
But he's on fire. Again,
I mean, this took him to 7 for the season. Obviously, later comes 8, but that's not a bad return from Gino. In all comps, I think the only exception from the league is Hibs in the Cup.
It must be, because he never scored in the League Cup because we only played Kelly. Yeah. Did he score in Europe?
That's only Hearts could. I don't think so. I think it's only league.
Yeah.
League and
fair
cup,
play.
So.
Listen, it was one of those. I know he frustrates a lot of people, but the last 2 games have shown exactly why he needs to be here. In one game, he wasn't there and we had nothing without him. And in the one game that he comes back, you could tell there was just an extra level to us, an extra bit of depth, an extra tactic that There was points where Shankland went central and Gino started drifting out, and then defenders got used to Shankland, and then Gino came back in central and Shankland drifted out. It just gives us different alternatives.
The three interchanging are a great watch. When everything's in full flow and it's going really well, it is a really good watch. That goal coincidentally seemed to spring Hearts into life. I think it's fair to say Lawrence Shankland went close after receiving from Grant a few minutes later, but his drive was tipped over the bar by Remy Matthews, who was having a great game early on. Graham Carey then looked to bend an equaliser home after receiving from Stevie May down the left-hand side, but it sailed over the bar. And a minute later, a great save from Xander Clark. Stevie May crosses for Dre Wright, who's a matter of yards out, and somehow Saints don't score. It looks like Clark gets a touch. It looks like maybe James Hill as well on the line gets a touch.
So. Yeah.
Remarkable, really. And again, to be honest, it seemed like it was chances aplenty in the early exchanges. I mean, Shankland heads a Kingsley cross at Matthews. Clark tips over from Cammy McPherson after receiving from May, who'd been found by Montgomery down the left. And Conor McLennan would head over after Dre Wright got some joy down the right and seemed to get the better of Alex Cochrane. I was obviously unable to attend, but how were you feeling going into the half at solely 1-0? Because it looked like St Johnstone had chances of plenty. We had chances of plenty. I want to know, was our lead sort of justified? What were your thoughts?
So this is the thing. I've seen after the game and kind of in the 24 hours after it, I saw a lot of opinions from people and how they felt the game went. And I seem to be in the minority, and that's totally fine. I never felt like we were ever going to do anything else than win that game after we scored. I felt from minute 1 to minute 90 we controlled the game. I know that they had chances, but most of them are speculative efforts from the edge of the box or caused by our own mistakes. Very rarely did St Johnstone just break us down. It was more, I don't think James Hill had a particularly good first half. He was routinely, I was about to say dispossessed. He wasn't so much dispossessed as just his passes were being intercepted. He wasn't being tackled, but just whenever he went to make a pass, they were being intercepted. But generally, I just felt we're controlling this game. We're doing fine. There was another one of those situations where it was around the 35, 38 minute mark. We're 1-0 up. Cochrane had the ball on the far side, and St Johnstone kind of went back into their shape. So Cochrane just rolls it to Kingsley, who rolls it to Hill, actually. Hill played it to Smith. Smith then went back inside to Hill, and rolls, ends up with the ball. And we're keeping it really well. And there's a smattering of boos and complaining. It's like, we're winning and we're doing really well to keep the ball. And I think it then ended up leading to a chance because we were patient in our build-up. Some people were complaining about Clark and Hill and doing these short passes and stuff like that. This is the way we play. This is the way Robbie wants us to play. I'm glad that if we make a couple of mistakes, the players don't just go, oh, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Let's just go long. Because I found out, my brother actually told me this, so if it's wrong, blame Keir. The St Johnstone defence is the tallest on average in the league.
Oh, really?
So when people are going, just send it, it doesn't work.
It's food and drink.
That's what they are going to benefit. So I think that's what Robbie was saying as well. Keep it on the deck and build.
Who did he start with? Was Alex Mitchell, Liam Gordon, and Andy Considine?
And Considine, aye. Yeah.
Considine came back in. So, three big boys.
Yeah, who cannot play football. So keep it on the deck and play around them.
Men. Yeah. So Johnston are like a perfect blend of experience and general, I don't know, a sort of nastiness.
Guile. They've got guile, basically. They know what they're doing. They're no idiots. They're smart. They'll know how to do the dark arts. They can't even really play.
Dark arts. Nice.
But
I like it.
They do that. And that was the thing. I was like, this is a good half. Obviously, you're still in that mind frame of, it doesn't matter who you are. 1-0 is not a comfortable lead. Anything can happen.
Oh, God. I mean, how many times have we seen it? That's probably where the boos come from.
Yeah,
Hearts need to be 3-4-0 up before everybody can put their mind at ease.
And relax a wee bit, aye. But yeah, I was just like, this is good. We're playing well. Smith, I thought, especially had a really good game in that first half. He was just constantly bombing down, and he just is
looking
kind
like
of
Michael Smith of old.
Yeah, he's getting back to his best recently. I know, apart from Fir Park, where everybody was shit, but generally he's been good, and I was really happy in that first half.
bring a tear to a glass eye. That
I know exactly.
Honestly, what's that? Well, I know this is like a really random road to go down, but there's like a Harry Potter film, and I swear Hagrid says, "I wish you could have seen him in his prime," and I think of that every time I'm speaking to my missus about Michael Smith, because she's just adamant that he's like a pensioner, and I just want the best for him. We went through some shit times, and he was top, and that squad just were not of that same caliber as him. I love him so much.
Yeah, we need to put him through therapy for the stuff that we've put him through. He's got PTSD.
Yeah. I think I heard Laurie say when I watched the highlights back, 195 appearances for Hearts. That is genuinely, that man deserves a knighthood.
Yeah, he does. What he deserves is he deserves a trophy, and I hate that he's not going to get one, I don't think.
That's the incentive for Saturday. Get the fucking finger
out. Nielsen goes into the dressing room and points at Smith.
This man has been through hell and back.
He had to deal with Steve McLean at left wing in a national semi-final. For fuck's sake, do it for him. It's like the Simpsons episode where Homer has all the pictures of Maggie with "Do It For Her." It's just Michael Smith on the wall.
Bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
Each and every shot, there's just a photo of Michael Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. And like each and every different strip that he's played in, alongside some jobber next to him.
I wanted Tayside Destroyer as the title. It is now Do It For Michael. That is the title of this episode.
Do it for Michael or do it for Mick.
Yes, exactly.
Oh dear.
Anyway, the second half of St Johnstone.
Well, exactly. We were talking about the St Johnstone hat-trick men, and nobody defines that better than Melker Hallberg, who can't make the most of a free header, nodding straight at Xander Clark to gather at a corner on 48 minutes. And at 57 minutes, he curls one wide, looking for the far corner after Hearts tried to break. Barry Mackay couldn't connect with Alex Cochrane's pass. And just as you alluded to, McIver, if there wasn't enough discontent with the first half performance, Barry Mackay seemingly running to get on the head of Alex Cochrane's pass and then failing to do so led to murmurs amongst the crowd.
Yeah, it did.
I honestly, I love Tynecastle, right? I really do. And I'm just as passionate. I'd get just as annoyed as anybody. But sometimes it isn't really just.
We have the moaniest support in the world, man. If we're no 4-0 up at half time, it's like, right, changes, get them off.
We're never happy. I remember hearing Derek Ferguson speaking about this recently. He says he quite likes that. And I get that if you were playing, sometimes it can sort of spur you on if need be.
No, if you're in the stand and you're just like, oh, fucking hell.
Exactly. There's either that if you're in the stand or if you're a new signing. I wonder what wee Yutaro Oda makes of it, having flown over from Japan. He's probably thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to score 50 goals a season to shut this mob up.
We're comfortably winning. We're 5 points clear in third, and there's folk booing and potentially saying Nielsen to leave.
Oh, dear. However, I mean, just shy of an hour played. Hearts were next to nearly score via set piece. Alex Cochrane drags one wide, following a clearance for former Hearts youth Liam Gordon. But it wasn't to be long before the Jambos would double their advantage. And this is upper echelon. This is a contender that's flying under the radar for one of our goals of the season. Michael Smith's role is absolutely pivotal. Spots Barry Mackay out on the left-hand side. It's a lovely 1-2, the exchanges with Alex Cochrane. And he slides over for Josh Ginnelly to prod home at the back stick from a few yards out. Bit of patience, some movement required, but a lovely execution. And it's a great goal to put Hearts 2 to the good, isn't it, McIver?
Is there any coincidence that we were in the programme and my section was specifically about...
Here he goes.
Alex
I was
Cochrane.
waiting for this. Do you know what? I actually thought of this before we came on air. I thought, we didn't plug the fact that we're in the programme. Wonder if any bastard's going to pick it up. Well, here he goes. Go on then. I've stolen your thunder, but on you go.
For folk who missed it, we were in the programme and we decided to speak about our individual shouts for Player of the Year.
You decided?
Yeah,
which was great from you, to be fair.
Yeah, I decided it.
Because I had nothing up my sleeve.
Adam went with the popular choice, the generic choice, some may say, the lazy choice, and went with Lawrence Shankland.
I wanted him from early. I'm just happy to see him do his thing.
I'm here, the indie guy, niche content.
Mr. Against the Grain.
Yep, exactly. I went with Alex Cochrane. And then
defenders.
He clearly sat pre-match, read the programme, read the section, and was like, I'm going to put on a show here, because he was fucking excellent, as always, on Saturday. And that pass is unbelievable. It's so beautiful. Well done. He takes it in and with one touch just plays it back. It's amazing.
Gonna say, on the other hand, Lawrence Shankland has probably read my piece and has thought, I've built him to high do. It's like, I can't need to bother and try and perform.
I will say, Shankland also had a really good game. He just didn't score.
Nice. That's nice.
His hold-up play was amazing. There was points where Shankland just like dropping to the halfway line, controlling it, holding off 4 guys, and then feeding it inside to Grant.
But McIver, I mean, he didn't bag a pen, so he's obviously had a
shit game.
According to some, honestly. Yeah. Sick of folks.
And then,
sick of folk dubbing him a pen merchant. It honestly
insane.
Grinds my gears.
Josh Ginnelly continued his personal vendetta. It was really... Did you see what Callum Davidson said after the game?
No, I did not.
He was asked about Ginnelly, and he was like, I don't know what we've done to him. He's like, I can't... Because he was also like, I can't really, like, plan for it, because he doesn't do a lot of what he does against us, against other teams. Which is a fair point.
And it's something that we'll get onto in the quiz. I mean, that takes him to 8 for the season. 3 of those have come against Tayside teams, what with 1 being against United and now a brace against St Johnstone. So you better get your thinking cap on later on, young man. But again, brilliant goal. And then I think the crowd are a little bit more relaxed at 2-0. Barry Mackay looks to bend one in the far corner, but it's a poor effort. After an equally poor cross, can I say, from Josh Ginnelly. It was cleared in his direction. But fortunately, soon it would be 3 without reply. And again, well, yeah, it is courtesy of a poor cross. Let's just say
it's a shot.
It's not a shot. Whatever it is not a shot.
He opens his body up for it.
Yeah, for a pass that just sneaks into the bottom corner. George Grant's corner is headed into the middle by James Hill. There's Ginnelly in there. There's Kai Rolls in there. It's cleared to Barry Mackay on the edge of the area. I will give George Grant his props. He gets back on side. He then receives
holds
it
the line
out
really
on the
well.
right-hand side. Yeah, he does. You can see him sort of just itching. And he's, come on, Barry, feed me. He does. Sends a ball into the box, which, like I say, trickles into the corner. There's absolutely no way he's intended it. 3-0 Hearts. What are you saying to it?
I'm fully on board with the George Grant hype train. I've been saying it now for a few weeks. Everybody has, in fairness, that his performances off the bench have shown that he should be starting. And that's now back-to-back starts against Hamilton and St Johnstone that he's played well in. I thought...
Making the most of his chance, definitely.
He gets an assist for the first one, technically, because he's the last person to play to Gino.
And Barry Mackay claims the other 2 again.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, there's folk that's been moaning about his numbers, but
he had a very good game as well, because it was against a bottom 6 side.
yeah, of course it was.
But no, he did.
It'll be absolutely anonymous on Wednesday night.
Yeah, exactly.
Guaranteed.
But yeah, Grant played really well. Listen, it's like it seems that our tactic is to tell our centre mids to cross from that area and it'll just go in, because Snodgrass did it against St Mirren as well. So this seems to just be the plan.
Get it in the mixer and make things happen.
Yeah,
why not?
Exactly. I hate, by the way, Sports Scene for claiming that there's a deflection.
Oh, mate, please don't get me started on that programme.
Listen, I have a personal affiliation with it, as Andrew Petrie is one of the commentators.
We both do.
He does a very good job, right?
He does.
Fair play to him.
I
hate the rest of the show.
But he's carrying that show on his back.
Yes, he very much is. Fair play to him. He did the Ross County Motherwell game this week.
The rest of it really is a heap of shite.
It's just so clearly that I could tell when he hit it, there's no deflection on it. Thankfully, Jordan's footage shows perfectly that there's nothing.
There you go. Like I don't. Just don't.
Yeah.
But 3-0. 3-0. Happy days. Shankland tries to feed Ginnelly, who's on a hat-trick, but he skews one wide and appears to hurt his calf in the process. But the only other real instance that I want to talk about McIver is toward the end of the game. Well, actually, no, there's 2 instances, but I mean, I've referenced him earlier on. Stephen Kingsley looked back to his best in this one particular instance. The clean sheets kept intact following some slack defending from one of the centre halves, and Stephen Kingsley's brilliance being one of the others. A slack pass back. Jeez, that's easy for me to say. From Kai Rolls is pounced upon by Zach Rudden, who appears to round Xander Clark, looks to poke home, but a phenomenal block from Stephen Kingsley prevents the Saints striker from scoring. It wouldn't have changed too much in the grand scheme of things, but it's nice to see a little glimpse of Stephen Kingsley back to his brilliant best. Because, look, I've been critical of him recently. I still love the guy. I really do. Yeah. But that was just a little glimpse of what he can do, being a defender first and foremost, obviously. I love his free kicks. I loved his goal against Hibs at Hampden. I love watching him caress that ball. But first and foremost, he's a defender, and that was a phenomenal bit of intuition.
I've worked out why he was good on Saturday.
Why is that?
He had his hair slicked back.
Ah, you reckon this is
the key to bring back Stephen Kingsley being good?
Has he visited a new barber recently? I would love to know.
Exactly.
Stephen, if you're watching, let us know.
Why would he be half an hour deep into this show? If he is, we need to be getting training looked at because he's got too much time on his hands.
Yeah, here, Mackin, he doesn't watch.
But yeah, he was excellent. He was fantastic. Really, really good block. Delighted for him.
All right, nice.
Is that a perfect summary for you?
Yeah, great. Up the other end, Geraint Kuol would hit the bar before George Grant tries his luck, but to no avail. Kuol's chip was all that he did, and I don't mean to dig out individuals here, but I'm gonna. This geezer on Twitter was winding me up, and he wound various other Hearts fans up.
Right, yeah.
This guy. So I've got the tweet here. It's from a Rory Flanagan, who, according to his bio,
he's an Australian writer, I think.
A UK form analyst. DM's always open. Foodie. Ligulate. Don't know what ligulate means, but that's fine.
I think he's Australian and covers kind of covers Australian.
He is. He's a soccer enthusiast. His tweet, which really irked me and several other Hearts fans who all replied to him, which was great. Great to see.
It wasn't great.
All the Jambos jump on the bandwagon.
It wasn't great. Like, we need to be better than this as a
fan
fan base.
Sticking up for the Newcastle loanee.
No, because this guy's also a fucking idiot. But just like, move on. Just go. We've won 3-0. It's fine. Love it.
Well, this is it. Poor Geraint Kuol takes until the final minute of the game for a teammate to even pass him the ball. Decides to lob the keeper from the wing and hits the bar. Imagine what he could do if Hearts had any football IQ. He then subsequently replies to his own tweet and says, "You've got a kid coming on, 3-0 up, game is safe, and you can't even pass him the ball or even look for him in possession. Complete waste of time for everyone. Doesn't matter how many minutes he gets if you simply don't pass him the ball." Right. What a pile of absolute tosh.
Right. Out of the Hearts fan base, I'm in a very unique position where I need this loan move to do well for both parties.
Like you and Anas Hassan.
Yes, exactly. And I think there's other Hearts Newcastle kind of fans as well on Twitter who have tweeted to me about him and stuff like that. So I totally understand that, for example, so many people will view him in like the Ben Woodburn kind of mold, where it's like, oh, well, we don't care about what this youngster does. Why are you dying laughing?
Sorry. I'm looking at some of the responses, and this one comes from Ryan McNulty, who I think follows us. Yeah, he does. And he said he's as raw as the WWE on a Monday night.
That's the worst pun ever, and I'm so on board brilliant. With it. I'm so on board. Right, so my point is,
I'll give that a wee like.
I want Geraint Kuol to do really well, not only for Hearts, because then I want him to do really well for Newcastle. So, I know what that guy's point is. His point is that why are we bringing him on with so few time? Because from his perspective, he doesn't care how Hearts are doing. He just wants Geraint to get game. He would be fine if Hearts lost every game, but Geraint played 90 minutes every week and got
scored
that experience. Yeah. So the middle ground, and Hearts fans are like, we don't give a shit about this youngster from Newcastle. We're winning games. That's what we care about. So,
which they have every right to do so.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've criticised Hearts' youth setup for ages. It's so hard to develop a player that isn't ours, and then wonder why ours aren't up to standard.
So the middle ground of this is me. When we scored the third, I went, get Garang on, give him like
73 minutes at that stage.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got 15 minutes easy.
Give him maybe 20 time.
Additional time or what have you.
Give him loads of time. And he didn't. And this is another thing. It's like, I feel like we've now only got a maximum of 12 games left of him. Like, use him more. I am of the opinion I think we need to use him more, right?
Well, I'm not sure that's
true. Especially because Barry Mackay's been shit for ages. All
right, I see what you're saying. You're adamant that we're going to get knocked out by Celtic in the 11 fixtures.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly my viewpoint.
Yeah. I was going to say, 12. I'd like to be more optimistic and push out to 14, but
we have 12 games left. So I'd like to see Garang feature. However, whether or not it's his fault, and I don't think it is his fault, but just if you are a Hearts fan with no connection to Garang, why would we start him? What's he shown any of the games? Right? He's had a few. I thought he was good when he came on against Livingston, but objectively, he missed an absolute sitter. Right?
Thank you.
So I totally understand why Robbie would go, no, it's not my responsibility to ensure this guy's development over the betterment of the team.
Yes.
When you're going to sit there and go, Hearts don't have any football and IQ, when you're just doing that because you're annoyed and it's not actually going to benefit the argument. All that does is make Hearts fans annoyed at you, which is why it's just insults and stuff like that. Garang came on and did have that chance where he did really well, where it's like a lofted ball and it was really unlucky. Simultaneously, there was several chances where a ball got put in a channel and he didn't even try and run. Now, I think it's because he's went, I'm not getting that. But I think if you're trying out Paisley Gordon, yes, you are, Garang. The point is, Hearts fans are fully justified to be like, why is it our responsibility to better an 18-year-old when he's in a position, aka he's competing with Gino, and Gino's having the best season of his life.
Hearts career
currently.
So yeah.
So why is he going to do that? On the flip side, I totally understand why Newcastle fans and Australian fans are going to go, we don't care about how Hearts are...
Josh Ginnelly's performing.
We don't care. We want to see Garang do well. Yeah. So it's like, would I like Garang to be given more opportunity than he currently has? Yes. Do I actually think this is best for his development, the way Robbie's been treating him? Yes. This is his first season in men's football properly. He can't just be expected to run
properly
and fully go like, I'm just class. I'm just going to be amazing.
Same club as Kai Rose, I believe, mate. But
yeah, but he didn't play.
Nah, I'm only winding you up.
I swear to God. Listen, the A-League has proven you're either class or you're terrible.
Dog shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt for Garang because it's not his fault that folk are saying that and creating like division. Because I don't like how some Hearts fans have been like, he's got no future. He's shit.
But it's again, like we're so quick to write them off. But to be honest, McIver, like for me, I just look at it and think it's like life. It has to be earned. The opportunity has to be earned for him to play. We haven't seen too much of him yet, but there is a reason for that.
Yeah, just everybody basically calm down.
Yeah, it's fine. We've got time. It's March. Yeah. He's here till May, June. We've got bags of time.
Exactly.
Besides, when we do absolutely bugger all in the split, you'll probably be given tons of minutes then. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, we just better hope that we've got the split or that we've got third wrapped up by the time that the split comes round, because I'm dreading it already.
Yep.
But that was that.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
You haven't mentioned a player that I understand you weren't there. You didn't see the full game. I totally get it because he didn't make it in the highlights.
Okay.
Keogh came on and was fantastic.
Oh, really?
I'd
like to hear that. Go on, enlighten us. Enlighten me. Everybody else will have probably been there and seen him, but
Keogh came on. It was really good to see Twitter kind of say that as well. Like a lot of people's thoughts summarising the game always ended with, by the way, thought Keogh came on and did really well. He just came on.
That's great.
I don't think he ever lost the ball. He had 92% pass accuracy. He won 4 out of 5 defensive blocks. He kept coming on, just kind of going, oh, I'll take that. And again, recycling. He didn't do anything flashy. He wasn't playing 60-yard passes and that. He was just getting it, turning, playing. And that was great. I'm like, that is what you need to do, son. I'm on board.
Somebody's done his homework with a 4 out of 5 interceptions and all
exactly.
that jazz.
I like
on 70 minutes for Snodgrass. You do like him, actually.
I like Keogh, right?
You're wanting him to succeed, don't you?
I am.
We all do, but you've got this weird fixation again, talking about the programme piece with these defenders, defensive-minded players.
Yes.
Don't get it at all, mate. Don't get it at all.
And also, he's way younger than I think everyone thinks he is.
Is he not about 23, 24?
He's 24. I thought he was 27, 28.
24, so yeah, that's all right.
Got time.
7th of May. He's a month older than me.
See? And look at the state of him.
Look at my baby face. Exactly.
I just wanted to get that mention in because
all over the place.
So many people are obviously, understandably, quick to say how poor he's been at times. I'm here. I'm shining the light for the rest of Kieran Watsoglu when he does well.
Oh, good for you, mate. And there'll be plenty of lights shining down on 22 players at Parkhead.
He's got to start and be shit.
As Celtic host Hearts. Now, in fairness, we went there, made changes aplenty earlier on in the season.
The jobbers in the team and did quite well.
And only lost 2-0, with the second coming late on through Giacomakis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I should know because I was there, and it was
the Ross Stewart coming out party, basically.
The Ross Stewart masterclass.
Yeah, basically.
How are you feeling heading to Parkhead on a Wednesday night? We've got them at the weekend at Tynecastle in the Scottish Cup quarter-final. Are you agreeing with some fans' idea of playing a weakened team on Wednesday to ensure the strongest team play on the Saturday? What's your thoughts? Because I think Robbie's going to go strong in both.
I think Robbie will do that. I really hate to disappoint everyone. I forgot this game was happening until today. So
lucky you.
Yeah, I've really not thought about these. I'm very much the type of fan, and it's fine if you disagree with this, to just write off games in Glasgow. I'm like, right, we're not getting anything for them. Fine, just pretend they don't happen.
I'm the type of fan that wants to believe that we will see Hearts win in Glasgow. Yet every time these fixtures come ahead, I'm more likely to go to Ibrox than I am Parkhead.
My dad and brother are going to Parkhead as this releases.
They are mental.
They are mental. 30 quid to go and sit behind a pillar.
That is scandalous. It's the worst away in the country by a million miles.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's awful. We always get pumped.
So I actually saw a couple of people. I feel bad that I can't say who they are. Sorry. But I saw a couple of people be like, controversial opinion, I'd rather we win on Wednesday than we win on Saturday. And
don't get that at all.
Their logic was they don't think we're winning the cup. They were like, we're not going to win the cup anyway, so therefore
third sewn up.
Third's more important. Both people I saw caveated it with, if we win the cup, obviously that's more important. But just they're like, we're not going to beat Celtic and Rangers going in, so therefore that. I get that. Obviously, if someone said to me, you can only win one game, I'd rather win on Saturday. Just to have that moment. Even if we do get
a domestic treble as well would be funny.
That would just be great. Even if we don't end up winning it, it would be good. I think we have no chance in either game.
And a Hampden trip would be nice.
Sure. We'd get Rangers in the semi-final.
Oh, without a doubt. And one of Ayr, Falkirk, Inverness or Killie would make the final against Rangers. Oh, God.
So I understand the people saying rest players on Wednesday. I'm not going to be like, I think all the eggs should be put in the Saturday basket. If it ended up being that we win on Wednesday, the Saturday basket. If we ended
That's title material as well.
Yeah, it is actually.
You've already done that, sorry.
If we ended up winning on tonight as this gets released, but tomorrow night for us, and then get beat on Saturday, I will take solace in that. I'll be like, well, that's gutting, but we've picked up 3 points that no one expected it and has helped us cement third in a set of fixtures that no one expected us to get anything against. Do I see it happening? No chance. I think Celtic are basically unstoppable right now.
What's your aggregate score over the 2 games?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like either 10-0 or 2-0. Like, it wouldn't surprise me either way if we managed to sneak out, like if they just narrowly beat us both times or if they battered us both times. I would be surprised.
It could be anything.
Yeah,
it could be anything.
Wednesday is Postecoglou's 100th game in charge as Celtic manager.
Again, very well researched, I should say.
It would be objectively class if his first and 100th games were losses to Hearts. That would be pretty great.
Yeah,
I would really like that. Do I think it's going to happen? No,
not in a million years.
I think we'll get battered more at Parkhead than we will at Tynecastle.
100%. Given the Tynecastle record, I think in the last 5 games they've all been settled by a goal. Is that right?
Yeah, it's we've never lost by more than 1 goal.
Whereas at Parkhead,
we really get beat by just 1 goal.
Yeah, that really could be a cricket score. What are you going for midweek?
I just think it's one of those where it's like, we're going to get beat 5-0.
So you go 5?
Yeah.
I've gone for a slightly more optimistic 4. And on Saturday?
We're going to get beat in extra time.
Oh my God, don't say that.
Because then I can predict a draw and maintain this draw thing.
Oh, right, okay. I see what you're doing.
So I'm going...
that would be the worst.
I'm going 1-1 in normal time. And then we get beat in extra time. We get beat like 4-1.
4-1.
Extra time.
Oh, God, I want to be optimistic heading into the weekend.
Hey, saying 1-1 and taking extra time is optimistic.
I know, but to then lose it, like, you're just preventing the inevitable. That's arguably worse.
Oh, it's so much. I'd rather be beaten in normal time.
Deservedly beaten at that.
Yeah, than have a chance at holding it.
Yeah, a glimmer of hope and then just snatched away from you. What I'll go for on the Saturday. Do I think we'll score? Probably. Hopefully. I'll go with a 3-1. I'll go 7-1 aggregate over the two games.
I went 7-2. So actually, I'm more optimistic.
Bloody hell. Jesus.
We're in the end game now.
We are in the end game. And speaking of the end, we're going to have the quiz before we end off.
Yes.
Nice again. Planting these. Well done.
Forget about the resources segue. That's in the past.
I've had a shocker here. Honestly, I just want to wrap this up and curl up in a ball. 5 questions, as always, McIver. We've got a true or false. We've got a multiple choice. And we've got the who am I to conclude. But your other questions, you ain't going to be happy with. The first one is, I returned to Beechwood Park on Saturday, home of Auchinleck Talbot FC. But who scored Hearts' 4 goals, or who were Hearts' 4 goal scorers in our 5-0 win there en route to the final last season? Great away day, can I just say? I love Beechwood, even though UK got beat the weekend. It was a rare laugh.
I think I know all 4.
Go on then.
Halliday, Boyce, Haring, Atkinson.
Oh!
No, it's not. It's not Atkinson. Atkinson got the assist.
You got 3 of the 4.
Yeah, Atkinson got the assist. Was it Cochrane?
It was Cochrane.
Yeah, Atkinson got the assist for it. He came in on the right-hand side.
That's right, and he slides it across goal, and there's wee Cochrane to tap in.
Halliday scored the first. Boyce scored a pen. Haring scored
great header from Halliday.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm saying that you did get them all right. So I'll give you that.
I'm taking that. I didn't give a shit if you're not giving me it. I'm taking that.
A pity point.
Yeah. Because he didn't give me it. I immediately went, oh no, wait. It was Cochrane.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. You can have that. Your second question. Hearts and Hibs women played each other at Tynecastle in the SWPL recently, with the Gorgie girls prevailing on penalties. But true or false, Hearts women have never finished above Hibs before?
True.
Correct. True.
Yeah, because this is going to be our officially, even
highest
if we lose,
ever finish.
Yeah, if we lose all the rest of the games, it's going to be our highest finish. But we still could finish below Hibs.
Nice. Good start, McIver.
2 for 2. One of them so undeserved, but I'm taking it.
1.5 for 2.
I'm saying 2.
Your third question. Weekend opponent St Johnstone could well still finish in the top 6, meaning that Hearts will have to most likely beat them at McDiarmid Park to ensure wins in all 4 potential league meetings this season. But when was the last time that Hearts beat Saints in all 4 league meetings between the two teams? Is it A, 1990-91, B, 1991-92, C, 1992-93, or D, 1993-94?
We used to beat St Johnstone all the time. So I feel like in most of those seasons, we would have beat them all 4 times. Before I was born, we beat them all the time.
So you'd be leaning towards...
So I'm going to go with the last one. D.
Is incorrect. The correct answer is B, 1991-92.
Really? That early since we won all of them.
It could be 31 seasons if St Johnstone finish
in the top 6, yeah. Bloody hell. Fair play.
That's an absolute corker. Thank you, Heart Stats, as always, for hooking me up. Question number 4. Josh Ginnelly loves a goal against a Tayside team.
You've been hyping this one all episode.
I'm really happy with this one. Having scored against St Johnstone, Dundee United, and Dundee when Hearts were back in the Championship. But who are the 4 non-Tayside Premiership teams he scored a league goal against?
A league goal against.
See, you thought that Hibs and Celtic were going to be gifts.
I was like, I've got half of them. Yeah. Right.
Exactly. I thought that makes it too easy.
Is this in the entire time he's been here?
Yes. I actually think all 4 have come. No, tell a lie. 1 came last season, and 3 of the teams have come in this season.
Oh, okay, thank you, because I was going to say both. Oh no, we won 1-0 that night and they went off. Whiten scored a
Who are the 4 non-Tayside Premiership teams he scored a league goal against?
Imagine if I just confident.
Incorrect.
They could have been last
For what it's worth, he scored against Queen of the South in Alloa when I was conducting the research in the Championship, so there you go.
Right, I'm going to take it. I have no idea.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to guess.
Taking stabs in the dark.
Take it. I'm just going to say 4. I'm going to say, has he scored against Rangers? I feel like we've never scored against Rangers when he's been here. So I can genuinely think of Halkett and Haring scoring goals since he's been here. So I don't think Rangers are one. I'll say Kilmarnock, St Mirren.
Oh.
Has he scored against Motherwell? We'll go Motherwell. And who else is in the fucking league that isn't in Tayside? Who else is in the league? wait now. That's 4. Hibs and Celtic are 2. Us.
So wait, hold on a second. Who have you guessed there? You've guessed Motherwell,
Kilmarnock, St Mirren, Motherwell. Yeah. Us, he can't score against us. Celtic and Hibs, he can't score. Right, so there's 4 other teams. Why can't I think? Ross County.
Oh,
I don't know.
But so last season he scored against Motherwell, so you're correct there.
Yes.
His only other 4 goals, coincidentally, 3 came against Johnstone and the other against Dundee United. So loves it. And this season he's obviously scored against Hibs in the Cup, so that's excluded. He scored against Dundee United. He scored against St Johnstone twice. Obviously,
it's fucking Aberdeen.
Aberdeen twice.
Yeah, it's Aberdeen.
Kilmarnock and Livingston with Motherwell last season.
I'll be completely honest. The last second against Livy at Tynecastle. I'll be honest, I forgot Aberdeen existed. Right? In my brain.
So you said, I love how you've just gone Tayside and everybody under them.
Yeah.
No thoughts of Ross County or nothing. No. Not interested.
No.
It's just the central belt in Tayside.
Exactly. That's all I care about.
Nice. Right. And we're concluding with your Who Am I this week. So get your thinking cap on. I'm going to get their Wikipedia up. Well, actually, no, I'll read out the clues first and then you can...
2 out of 4. I'll take 2 out of 4.
You've done well. You did well, to be fair. Right. Who am I? Right. The best part of the show. I began my youth career in Monaco before playing in France, England, Switzerland, and Norway. I played for 2 Scottish clubs, including Hearts, of course, before a spell in Italy, where I played for a further 2 clubs. That meant I represented 11, but played for 10 different clubs in a 16-year career. I scored 2 goals for Hearts, one in the Scottish Cup and the other in the Scottish Premiership. Despite being capped at under 17, under 18, under 19 and under 21 level, I never played full international football. Who am I?
Right. Before we continue, I need to make a statement about something and acknowledge what happened last week.
Oh, God.
We have never had a more controversial segment than the quiz and Who Am I last week.
Oh.
We have had, I specifically have had people come up to me and mention this to me.
No way. Who came up? Just randoms that you don't know. Nice.
Two
Thanks
people,
for your listenership, though.
Two people. One of them was Hearts, though.
Shock horror.
And another just person came up. My dad had an issue with it as well. We are banning the question, what are the initials of the person?
Why? Why? That was a good one.
It has been met with such negativity that we have to, because you then just get it. Basically, if I like,
why do you think I asked it?
So
I still didn't know the first name for what it's worth. I just knew the Esperanza.
It can't happen because that is the easiest thing ever. Now, this is, but I'm being good here. I'm not waiting until after this round to do it. I'm getting it in, so even I can't do it.
Okay.
Right? But I'm glad it didn't benefit you. It benefited Cobb, who isn't here regularly.
Yeah, I suppose. That doesn't count towards anything. Yeah. That's fair enough.
So, there you go, everybody. We've acknowledged it. It won't happen again.
Sorry.
Right. I've now forgotten all the clues.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's fine. Right.
Between do you want me to read them again?
No, it's fine. I'll probably answer them in a minute. There was a lot of clues.
Jesus, there was.
Right.
I'm worried that I've made this too easy now.
I have no name, so you're fine. Between what years did he play for Hearts?
You might get it off this though.
Between what seasons? Sorry, not years, seasons.
Right. Okay. Right. So what years? Or do you want
seasons? I want the seasons.
Right. Let's have a look. So 17, 18.
Oh no, it's somebody recent. I'm terrible at names.
18, 19. And left in the summer of 19. So 17, 18 and 18, 19.
What? I mean, did you say one of the clues that he left us to go to an Italian team?
No, I'll read them again.
Right.
I began my youth career in Monaco before playing in France, England, Switzerland and Norway. I played for 2 Scottish clubs, including Hearts, of course, before a spell in Italy, where I played for a further 2 clubs, meaning I represented 11, but played for 10 different clubs in a 16-year career. I scored 2 goals for Hearts, one in the Scottish Cup and the other in the Scottish Premiership. And despite being capped at under 17, under 18, under 19 and under 21 level, I never played full international football. Who am I?
Right, so sorry. So he was in Italy before he came to us?
No.
Is that what he said? What was the Italian? Read the Italian.
I played for 2 Scottish clubs, including Hearts, of course, before a spell in Italy.
So that's what I said. I was like, was he in Scotland before he went to Italy? And you went,
right.
No.
Yes, sorry.
Right.
And yes, he was.
Right, okay. So he must be... He's either retired or getting close to retirement. Because did you say a 16?
I'd like to think so, in a 16-year career.
Yeah. Right. He started his youth career in Monaco. Right. I've got another question. I don't just want to ask the clubs, but with the amount of clubs, I feel like I should.
Began his career in Monaco, yes.
I feel like this is a risk, but I'm going to ask for the clubs in which this person played for.
Right, okay. So I can say them in any random order?
No, I want them in order.
Right, okay.
I want them in the order in which he played.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I should have just given
you them. No, because I forgot about that aspect of it.
Right, you're going to get this now.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Monaco, Nîmes, Blackpool, Middlesbrough, Lausanne Sport, Sannes Ulf, Lillestrøm, Hearts, Dunfermline, Palermo, and Sally.
What? Middlesbrough.
Up the borough.
Dunfermline. Who the fuck did we send to Dunfermline that was old?
I have no clue why this geezer popped into my head as well.
Wait now. Do the last 6 clubs in order.
All right, okay. I thought you were going to ask.
No, I wasn't going to ask another question.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Last 6 in order, right? Okay,
yeah.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Sannes Ulf, Lillestrøm, Hearts, Dunfermline, Palermo, Casale.
Who went to Palermo? I'm not going to get this. I'm telling you right now. I can't think of anybody who left in the summer of 19 who went to fucking Dunfermline. Because see before you said the clubs?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was going to be Dicamona.
Dicamona?
Because when you said 2 Scottish clubs, I was like, come on, Nick. Yeah. Who left us and appeared, who's old, and appeared... Also, for a weird part, when you said old career in that time, my brain went, it's Glenn Whelan.
Glenn Whelan chilled in the south of France.
Yeah.
Fry. Oh my God.
This is going to be so obvious. I'm going to be raging. Everybody knows it at home as well. Literally everybody.
That's what makes it. Honestly, you cannot express how good a feeling it is when the other is struggling. It is such a great feeling. I barely get it, but it's nice when it does happen.
Left in 1819, so it was under Levine. Who did he fuck off to Dunfermline? The other person I was going to say, because you said to Hearts and Dunfermline, because I always think this guy played for Dunfermline, was Dario Zanata, but he didn't.
Right.
He didn't, and he's played for
certainly
more.
Didn't begin his career in Monaco either.
Yeah. I need to think of a name now. Who did we send to fucking Dunfermline?
Aidan Keener.
That's genuinely one person who came into my head. Right,
just go for it. Go for it.
I'm using the logic. French. Wait. What were the other British clubs?
Blackpool and Middlesbrough.
Oh, no. I heard a name. I thought it was going to be Damour, but he played for Cardiff. Oh, no. I was so convinced that I was like, it's Damour. It's Damour.
The GOAT.
But he didn't leave that early. Blackpool and Middlesbrough. And is an old man.
Time is ticking.
I know. I'm conscious. I'm conscious. I'm now.
And you need to keep speaking. We don't want a silent pause.
I know. I'm now just trying to think of a name I can say. I'm not thinking of a guess. I'm thinking who would make sense. Who was an old player then? Steve McLean didn't fucking start in Monaco.
If Steve McLean began in Monaco, that would be legendary.
I don't have any. Who's...
I think of Scottish strikers that have gone abroad. You've got Alan McInally at Bayern Munich and then Stephen McLean at Monaco. What a time to be alive.
I think I've fucked myself with the questions.
I think you have as well, big time.
I think the club one was really stupid.
Particularly given when I named the nations. But then I suppose sometimes all it takes is seeing a name, isn't it? McIver. You better not be bloody Googling.
No, that was actually that my electricity's just went weird. So I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, nice. That's good to know.
The other name that just came out of my head doesn't make sense either. was Nikolai Todorov. Because he's at Dunfermline now, I think, or is it Falkirk?
Dunfermline, I think.
He's at Dunfermline, right? So there's a connection. Right, who's an old man? For some reason, my brain keeps going, say Stephen Whittaker. Is this going to be the first time ever where I don't even say a name? Because I can't even think of one to say. Up? No, I want to say a name. I feel like an idiot when I don't say a name. Okay. Who's somebody that was old that played under Levine? That didn't leave when he leave.
You liked him, it might be a great guess, you know.
No, it doesn't make any sense because he only left this summer. So that makes no sense.
My man Andrew also played for...
Makes no sense. Wasn't here back then. Can I even think of a name to say? I know this is terrible listening, so I feel like I'm just going to have to... If I can't think in the next 30 seconds...
No, but if this is the warning for everybody to check out the video and watch you struggling.
Yeah.
Because it is quite entertaining. And usually it's me that's on the opposite end, and it's a horrible, horrible predicament.
Think of a name of anybody that makes it... Because the problem is, I would just say a name, but I'm like, who's old? Who's old that played for Dunfermline? Should I get this?
I think you might be kicking yourself.
I'm literally now just trying to think of a name that I could say because I've given up trying to guess. So who could I say? Who was old? I can't even think of anybody who was old. I'm going to say, just because I like the image of it, that Steve McLean. Even though he was here for another 2 years. It makes
That's
no
your final
sense.
answer, Steve
My final guess is Steve.
Because we played St Johnstone at the weekend. He's a St Johnstone legend, and that was not.
He was in the dugout. Mentioned. He was in the dugout.
I can reveal it's not Stephen McLean.
I'm absolutely shocked to hear this.
The answer, McIver, is Mallory Malo Martin.
Oh, I forgot he even existed. We could have.
I could have tell, given that period was just grim.
I could have asked position. I could have asked nationality. I could have asked age. I could have asked how many games. I literally forgot he existed. So there's no chance I would have ever. The only thing, if you'd given me this as a clue, if you'd said that he was known for his free kicks, I maybe would have got it.
I was considering, but I thought no, that'd be too easy.
But only if I narrowed it down to French centre mid. That's the only way I'd be able to get it.
And that was actually his only goal in the Premiership, because I said one came in the Scottish Cup, which was against Wraith Rovers, I believe, and the other was in the Premiership against Accies, that free kick, and he celebrates in front of the wheat field. Do you remember it?
No memories of him even scoring a goal. I have no memories of him playing.
Can I just say as well, he was loaned to the Pars, I think, when Levine came in, and then he left Hearts, having signed a 3.5-year deal under Cathro. What a great bit of business that was. In January 2017, left that early. Left that... Yeah, sorry, a year early.
Yeah.
He then signed for Palermo, who were in Serie D.
Yeah, because they got the Rangers treatment.
And then he won promotion to Serie C with them, Casale, and I think he retired back in October. Says here.
Fucking hell! How old was he when he joined us?
October 2022, at the ripe old age of 34. So
right, so he wouldn't have been that
so he'd have been 29 to 31 if you're going off the wiki.
That was the other thing. I was thinking of guys in the mid 30s when they were at us. I was thinking of somebody who was like 35, 34. I'm actually not that bothered in the get because I've literally forgot he existed.
Lucky you. I don't know why he popped into my head the other
week. Know.
I think maybe because I was thinking of Cammy Stagg, and Cammy was ranting and raving. It was the time when I was going to Fife College, and two boys that I was pally with, Jake and Cammy, they were both Dunfermline fans. So when we loaned Mallory Martin to them, they were able to tell me of his weekly progress. I always remember that. And remembering that I ought to have cared, given how piss poor Mallory Martin was for us.
Fucking hell. He is one of those players that I just have no memories of.
Oh, he easily would just disappear into the abyss.
Yeah.
And we'd gladly forget he and several others.
Yep. Exactly. Well, did you get it? Were you screaming Mallory Martin at me? Please let us know If you did, I'll be very impressed. But we hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe, and comment if you've been watching me and my pain on YouTube. If you've just been listening to it, leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. It massively helps us out. We're at Perth to Paisley on all forms of social media. Also, perthtopaisley@gmail.com if you want to fire over an email there. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
They can get me on all the socials broadcasting Mallory Martin's hour-long compilation of his 2 Hearts goals at Adam T. Kendall. What about yourself, mate?
I'm at DMcCarroll22. We'll be back next week with Adam probably being rough as anything to cover potentially historic wins against Celtic, but most likely losses and anything else that happens in between there. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Muchachies!